Animals that asked people for help. Dogs depend on us for friendship, food, and shelter, but wild animals run from people. They don't turn to humans for help in getting out of trouble. Or do they? Until recently, most scientists thought animals could not think through multiple steps to solve problems. They believed only people could do that. But research into animal behavior shows this is not true. At least some animals think through their problems and come up with possible solutions. Before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you will never miss any update. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. The poor rhino. In September of 2014, Liam Burrow encountered an apparently orphaned rhinoceros in South Africa's Kruger National Park. He described the 8-week-old calf as badly dehydrated, covered in wounds, and clearly in desperate search of shade. He and his fellow travelers let the exhausted rhino lie in the shade of their caravan and gave her water. They waited with her, while rangers brought her to Care for Wild Africa, a non-profit group that helps injured or orphaned wildlife. Number 9. Whale shark and the rope. Joseph Barris and some friends were fishing near Sydney, Australia in March of 2003 when a whale shark swam up to their boat and waited. Curious, Joe jumped in the water and saw the desperate fish had a rope lashed tightly around its body. Amazingly, when Joe approached to cut the rope, the shark floated patiently for some 20 minutes while he straddled its back and removed the cord. The job was done, the huge fish swam peacefully away. Number 8. Young fox all cut up. A YouTube video posted in June of 2013 shows a young fox with its head hopelessly stuck in a glass jar. Unable to free itself, the animal tentatively walked up to some men who happily obliged in removing the container. As the fox trots off into the forest afterwards, one of the Russian men asks, "Hey, where's our thank you?" But the small mammal does look back at the men, perhaps giving a nod of gratitude to the pair who saved his life. Number 7. Distressed dolphin. A group of marine photographers near Kona, Hawaii got an unexpected visit from a distressed dolphin in January 2013. The marine mammal circled several times, eventually swimming up to one of them and putting its left side in their spotlights. Its fin was painfully entangled in fishing wire and pierced by a metal hook. The dolphin waited patiently while diver Keller Laros cut away the wire, digging painfully into the animal's flesh. Unfortunately, the divers weren't able to clip off the metal hook before the dolphin swam away, but they say they were happy enough to have restored most of that fin's range of motion. Number 6. Garbage and environmental damage. 2 teenagers near Sydney, Australia will never forget the morning last August when a distressed southern right whale surfaced nearby. A twisted mass of fishing lines and plastic garbage was holding fast to the top of its mouth. The huge mammal bobbed up and down in the water several times near the boat. Eventually, it got close enough that one of the teens was able to reach out and snatch the pile of trash off the animal's face. The presumably appreciative whale slapped its tail against the water several times before departing back to the sea. Number 5. Poisonous arrows. A trio of elephants who had been targeted by poachers trudged across the Kenya savannah with poison-tipped arrows buried deep in their sides. Their apparent goal? The David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust Center. The pachyderm's only link to the aid group was that one of the elephants had mated with 2 elephants who had been raised and released from the facility. A veterinarian and rescue workers rushed out to tranquilize the huge pachyderms and perform surgery to remove the darts and patch up their wounds. Poor souls! And while it might be surprising to imagine an elephant seeking out humans for help, especially when he had just been injured by people, it's not unbelievable. Elephants have remarkable spatial reasoning abilities and are able to craft detailed mental maps that help them navigate their territory. Considering their intelligence and high sociability, it's possible that former orphans or elephants who have been treated by the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust Center, DSWT, could have communicated that it was a place of safety. Number 4. Ravens or harbingers of darkness. Ravens have a bad reputation as harbingers of darkness, but are actually misunderstood animals, capable of amazing forms of communication. Thanks to Edgar Allan Poe's famous poem, The Raven, these birds are often regarded as omens of misery and death. Yet despite their dark, dreary appearance, they are among the most intelligent birds, and are also among the most intelligent animals in the world. In Nova Scotia and Canada, a common raven displays a truly impressive amount of intelligence. Perching on a residential fence, it squawked for over an hour to acquire the nearby human's attention. When the residents finally took notice, they went outside to investigate and discovered the raven had 3 porcupine quills embedded in the side of its face and 1 embedded in its wing. The woman went forward to touch the raven, and surprisingly, the bird stayed put on the fence. Due to fight-or-flight instincts, most wild animals, regardless of injury, would attempt to flee from humans, even if their intentions are good. But this raven doesn't. Clearly, it understands that humans can help, and has probably watched humans helping each other or other animals. It patiently sits on the fence while the woman removes 3 quills from its face, squawking in pain each time a quill is removed. Without the help of the humans, this particular raven probably would have died from the quill wounds, or possible ensuing infection. Number 3. The Tale of 2 Swans.
Аккуратно только. Да, у него зацепилась шея за крыло.
2 swans that somehow became entangled were freed from their unusual predicament after approaching people on shore in an apparent bid to get help. Footage from the remarkable rescue, reportedly filmed in Kremenchuk, Ukraine, shows a hapless pair of birds swimming in circles, evidently unable to extricate themselves from one another on their own. As 2 passerby approach, the swans shift direction, awkwardly paddling toward them on the riverbank. Alexander Nord, who uploaded the video to YouTube, said that the tangled pair seemed to recognize that they would be assisted, and they were right. One of the men is seen carefully shifting the bird's slender necks and delicate wings, which had inexplicably become intertwined. Once untangled, the first swan can be seen wandering off, her feathers ruffled, but without any obvious injury. The second swan appears slightly disoriented, wandering away from the water, but the nimblest rescuer soon puts her back on course, seemingly no worse for the wear after the ordeal. Number 2. Elephant survived the shot. Pretty Boy, a rather handsome elephant, knew he was in serious need of help. He had been shot, survived the attack, and then walked around with his wounds for several weeks. When veterinarians from the Animal and Wildlife Area Research and Rehabilitation Trust, AWARE, a wildlife conservation organization in Zimbabwe, arrived at Manapools National Park after receiving word about the injured elephant. Pretty Boy was quick to ask for the assistance he needed without the vets having to seek him out themselves. The elephant was tranquilized and then taken in for an X-ray, which showed a deformed bullet present inside of his head. Such was the case with Pretty Boy, who was hit just centimeters too high for a kill shot. Instead, the bullet glanced off of his skull and caused a fracture in the bones of his sinuses. Furthermore, his head wound was infected. It was essential to remove the dead pieces of bone so that the body could continue to heal the infection, one of the team members said. Number 1. Manta rays. Manta rays are exceptionally intelligent fish. They have the largest brain of any cartilaginous fish, despite their body being considerably smaller than large sharks. Some of their brain cells are also physically comparable to other animal species, such as birds and mammals. This extra brain power means they are communicative, playful, and emotionally sensitive. As behavior tests have shown, manta rays even show signs of self-awareness, the gold standard of animal intelligence. While they might look like giant dopey kites, manta rays are among the smartest fish in the sea.
And she started to roll over and present. You could see she was...
As this footage highlights, these oceanic titans are capable of some incredible levels of social intelligence and sensitivity. The stunning footage showed a giant manta ray asking for help, as they say, to save her life. The 3-meter-wide, 9.8-foot ray, named Freckles, was spotted by a group of snorkelers from Ningaloo Marine Interactions off the waters of Ningaloo Reef in Western Australia. The ray began edging closer to Jake Wilton, a wildlife guide who was leading a group of divers, before she flipped over onto her back and revealed a fish hook caught under her right eye. Bottom line. So these were the top 10 incidents in which animals themselves approach people for help. Indeed, animals are smart. What are your thoughts about it? Have you ever experienced anything like this? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, hit the bell icon button so that you'll get a notification whenever we post a new video. Thank you for watching.